we came out with so many propositions and proposals as to what will be the plan after the seminar and what we can do to create that sense of unity. In the meantime, without me realizing, one of the executive committee members, who was very anti-Shia, extremely anti-Shia, had entered the premises and was listening to the conversation without me knowing. So when I ended the conversation, he came into the room. And this is exactly what he said. He said, how many times have I told you not to mention the word Shia in this office? I said, not once. Because firstly, I don't know you. You are new to the committee. And no one told us that we can't speak about issues of that magnitude. And by me answering him in that way, without me realizing, all of a sudden, he just started throwing punches at me. Yeah, and it was a big issue. The committee got involved. But that day, I resigned. I said, I will not stay one single day working for this community anymore. And I finished all my commitments and all my work commitments with that family. Of course, as a result of that, I was married then. And as a result of that, I lost my first marriage due to the conversion. Because I was not tolerated being a Shia in that setup. And basically, I had to leave the marriage. Because although initially, I have to admit, you know, my wife, in fairness to her, my first wife, she stood by me initially, but then it became too involved. It became too much to bear and accept that I had taken that path, and I became a full-on Shia. So, you know, as the Quran says, "Imsakum bima'ruf aw tasrihum bi ihsan." You either live immaculately or you depart immaculately. So it ended up in departing, you know, our own separate ways. But the stigma did not stop. The stigma always followed me, that this person has abandoned his school of thought, has abandoned his community, and he joined the Shia school of thought. I did not break away completely from the community after that. I kept my presence, though not on an official basis, but I would go back and visit these people because I grew up with them. And they had no qualms with me as far as the general masses are concerned. The leadership, yes, they had issues. They would refuse that I would lead any more prayers inside the mosque because I have become a full-on follower of the school of Ahlul Bayt, salawatullah wa salamu alayhim ajma'in. But that did not faze me in any way. Though it was tough, losing a marriage, losing, you know, a setup, losing work, losing, you know, your position in the community. It has its impact on you when you basically were somewhere and then you lose the whole setup as a result. That's basically some of the things I faced due to the fact that I reverted on the basis of the community, at community level. At family level, not through marriage, but through my own siblings and my parents. By then, my father had passed away. My reversion happened after my father had passed away. My mother, upon hearing that I became a Shia, her stand was so phenomenal that she made a remark. She said, by him adopting the Shia school of thought, had he become worse in terms of his religion or better in terms of his religion? Is he more practicing now? Is he more God conscious? Is he more God fearing? Is his practices better or worse? If his practices has become better, then I have no issues with him. That's his choice. He can be whatever he wants, you know. So I never had issues with my mom. May Allah bless her and grant her long life. As far as my brothers are concerned, I have another brother that worked with me in organizing these unity seminars. And to this day and age, we always talk about these issues. And he's still a great advocate of unity between Sunnis and Shias. And he even writes poetry sometimes about Ahlul Bayt and about Imam al-Mahdi. And he has his own thoughts about, you know, the differences between the two school of thoughts. So I never had issues as far as my family, my immediate family is concerned, and I consider this to be a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in that regard.
Now I'd like to call upon Sheikh Jihad to recite tonight's majlis with another salawat.
शहंशाह कायनात खुशनूद इमाम ज़माना बावाज़ बुलंद सलावत हबीब खुदा खत्मुल अंबिया मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा बावाज़ बुलंद सलावत
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله. After the conversion and after I lost basically all the setup that I've worked for being in the Sunni setup, I was actually recruited by one of the Shia centers. And it happened to be that it was the same center where I used to have the dialogue with that Imam, the Shia Imam. So I started there as what we call a community development officer, where I would help the community in day-to-day issues or problems, facilitate, helping them getting referral services to different government departments, because that's what my job description basically entailed. And later on, that particular setup also established the first Shia school in Australia. It was a primary school, basically from K to 6, and the same Imam that I used to have a discussion with had asked me personally to join the school as the head of the Islamic department in the school. At that time, I was working as a full-time government court interpreter, which meant that I had to resign my job. And I was very happy to do so, because that is my field. My field is not interpreting. My field is to work for this school of thought now, to work for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to promote the school of Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi ajma'in. So to me, it was an amazing opportunity. So I joined the school right from its inception, and I worked in that setup for almost 4 years. I was teaching students from all different walks, for 4 years, right from K to Year 6. After that, I felt the need to branch out and to go in different communities. So we established an organization which is very well known now worldwide. I mean, any international speaker, you ask about this organization in Sydney, they will tell you that they know about, because it involves itself basically by one major program in the year, and that is the first Ashra. So they would invite international speakers to come for the first Ashra, and it's a huge setup. Basically, it's no less than 15 to 1800 people attending on a nightly basis. So we started that group of just giving lectures in English, because we felt the need to start doing lectures in English. I was the first speaker to start the English majalis for Abi Abdullah al-Hussein at that scale. And we started in a place called Strathfield, and the name of the organization is Al-Iman Australia. After that, one of the organizing members, he said, Sheikh, it is time for you to start traveling into the Shia world so that people know about you, because you're a good speaker, you're a revert, you will add this, dimension to your work when you are basically approaching these different communities, and you will have an impact on these communities. I married again, of course, and my current wife is an Italian Revert. She's a Shia herself, and I basically thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the bottom of my heart that she's a very understanding, cooperative, encouraging wife, to the extent that whenever an invitation comes, and a lot of invitation comes, she never says anything else other than, this is God's work. May Allah bless you, we are behind you. It is something that I've always wanted. That support is so essential in the life of a preacher, a alim, if you want to call that. I consider myself a student who wants to branch out and go out and serve the religion of Rasulullah and Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salam. So in that regard, alhamdulillah, we're doing very well. Great rapport, great understanding, and great support. I feel that without Ahlul Bayt in my life, I can't exist. They're everything to me. They're my role models, my inspiration. Whatever I want to do in life, I look into their life. And with my limited abilities, I try my level best to incorporate their lifestyle in my lifestyle. What do I owe them? Everything. Genuinely, I feel I'm indebted to them. I mean, without them, I always felt there's something empty. There's a huge vacuum in my life. Only when I came to know Ahlul Bayt that I felt my existence. I felt my presence. I felt my importance as a human being that now can really feel his ability to communicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through such an important medium, which is Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. Without them, I feel I can't even understand my existence. Without their presence, I can't even get to know the proper dimension and definition of who the Creator is. It is them and them only that were able to define God for me. So what do I owe them? What is it that I don't owe Ahlul Bayt salawatullahi wa salam alayhim? Everything. I think the world, not only myself, but the world owes a lot to Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim. At all levels, whether it is at the humanitarian level, the ethical level, the level of understanding the world, the level of understanding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, recognizing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, recognizing the message, even knowing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No one knew the Prophet the way they knew him. So if you really want to know the Prophet, you have to know Ahlul Bayt. And how amazing what Ahlul Bayt taught us when it came to the riwayah, for example, Allahumma arifni nafsak, فإن لم تعرفني نفسك لم أعرف نبيك اللهم عرفني رسولك فإن لم تعرفني رسولك لم أعرف حجتك اللهم عرفني حجتك فإن لم تعرفني حجتك ضللت عن ديني. So that shows you the importance of how you need to basically link yourself to Ahlul Bayt, be attached to this family, that the beauty about them can be summarized in one statement, I think, with my own modest and humble, ability to express these. And that is, the statement is that Ahlul Bayt salamullah alayhim is the manifestation of Islam. They are the cornerstone of Islam, and without them, Islam could not continue. So, what do I owe them? I owe them everything.